Yeah.
Child, this Black Expo went down. We know that last week Stormy pretty much went off on Marceau because of his untactfulness, I guess, or whatever he unprofessionalism that he had going on. It seemed to be a decent turnout though. It seemed like it was decent. I didn't think too much of it. It wasn't really, I ain't have too much critique about it. I thought it was hilarious that Mel told y'all ass she was gonna be singing somewhere, only to show up to y'all event, sit on the front row, and watch you hoes sit up there and do. And first of all, sit up there and watch y'all argue before you go on stage.
That was
Hilarious.
so embarrassing.
I thought that was funny. And then Stormy and Tisha are now at each other necks. Yeah, I don't know. Like Tisha, I didn't like how Tisha came at Stormy in that moment because you said that you didn't like how she talked to your husband, but when she was talking to your husband, you was giving him looks like she told you. So you was in all agreement then. But then after he talked to you and told you to get your friend in check, that's what you decided to do when it came to Stormy. But it's so funny how you women, and I hate to say it because I'm talking about you Scots, continue to go to bat for your men that do not go to bat for you. I ain't got no issue with you going to bat for your man, that's your husband. But if he's not going to bat for you, if you sitting over there telling him how you felt about Mel or whatever the case is, and he's still over there linking with Mel, talking to Mel, da da da, whatever the case is, like, girl, your man is giving ops. But you over there defending him though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't really here for that.
Tisha's a lost cause sometimes, man. There's just nothing you can do. But honestly, even though Tisha annoyed me, I still felt like when Tisha got home, Marceau probably talked her fucking ear off until she made sure when she got on camera, she corrected what she didn't do in that moment, which was allow him to get his ass handed to him. He probably made it her fault some type of way. She should have stepped in. She should have defended him. And like you said, he ain't never defended her. So I don't know why he would expect that from her. But y'all know, unbalanced, one-sided relationships, they are all the rage in Scott households. But Kimmy annoyed me more than anybody else this episode, just to keep it a buck,
Mm-hmm.
because her insistence on making excuses for everybody, making excuses for Tisha leaving Tiffany out. You did leave Tiffany out. You didn't even know what
Yes.
Tiffany did for a living, bitch. Like, you absolutely don't pay her no mind because she can't be used the way Mel or Stormy can be used by you. So you don't give her no real respect. That's how y'all are.
Oh.
And Stormy, like, to me, it's so apparent that either you are pretending to have beef with Tisha so you can make yourself the male of the show being an adversary, or you were still trying to be the male of the show and found out how these niggas can't be trusted. It's one or the other. But either way, I feel your need to step into male shoes on the show in just a way that just kind of annoys me. Cause like you're y'all, I hate it, but I hate to say she unprofessional, but bitch, why is you
Mhm.
threatening Marceau with your husband because he asked you for $100? Like, I'm just saying, like, she
I
could have
was thinking
cursed him
that
out
too.
all the way, but it was like, girl, why you had to go straight her? Because I know you don't want to see Courtney. Like, that's real immature in high school for you to be like, oh, I know you don't want to see my man. Even though I feel you, because Marceau only respects men. So at some point, it do feel like I'm gonna have to have my nigga step in because you don't respect women. So I'm gonna have to have my nigga come in and talk to you because
Mhm.
I can't. There ain't no talking to you for me. But she read him down. There really wasn't even, that much of a reason to bring Courtney into it like that. But even if I could give her that on that, when it came back around to her talking to Tisha, and she was like, because you wouldn't talk to my husband like that because you're not crazy. Because that's what it is. You're not crazy enough to do that. And I was like, girl, so now we threatening to kick
You
Tisha's
threatened.
ass. If she do to you, would you like, girl, what? Like, I just kind of was like, this is so immature. And this is what everybody was talking about. Even though I do not change how I felt about the Destiny situation. Destiny's the one that threw a fucking chair. But I still feel like you really be out here with a, nam yo renke kyo, and it's not fucking working. Like, I don't know what you got going on, girl, but it's not working because I feel like she was heightened, y'all. I feel like
I
she
Hmm.
think she
kind of,
was definitely heightened talking to Marceau because at
yeah.
some point it seemed like I think you're more frustrated about not being back at the office or whatever to pack up all these goods. So it was giving he came at you wrong. So I definitely feel that. But when you talk about the Courtney statement, it was like, okay, she just frustrated right now.
When
Like,
you say that, that reminded me of something. Thank you for saying that, Jamie, about the warehouse situation. So am I the only one that feel like, is Courtney not smart enough to do this job that you have him tasked with doing?
You're not, because I said, how the fuck you
Y'all
let him sit
killing
up
me.
there and fire somebody, but he don't even know what the he let them put 1,000 wrong ass labels on.
Oh, it was
But he
only
the one over
100.
there.
It was
Oh,
only
it was only
100.
100.
Yeah.
But you got him over there trying to get in your ear to tell you to fire your cousin.
And
Like,
then if he could handle it, why would he call you and upset you when there was nothing you could do about it? That was the thing that made me mad, because I'm like, so mentally you're not even covering her. Because if there's nothing she can do, why even call her and stress her out when you know she already stressed out behind what's going on? It just kind of made me feel like you need to recognize you can't really trust none of the men around you in your business. Maybe he needs to just lift boxes and put them on trucks. Okay, he's a big man, he's physical, he was a football player, but that does not mean that he is smart and can handle them, the mechanics of what you're doing. So, sometimes we just got to see what our husband's weaknesses are and be real about them instead of lying to protect their egos and shit. But let him keep fucking up your money, girl, because wasn't he walking around checking for your cousin when your cousin wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, and you still wasn't getting the work done? Like the shit still wasn't getting done before Junior got fired. So
I wanted to comment on Stormy. Okay, so I think it's two things. For one, the first thing I thought about when she was doing all this was about her first season, when online in a lot of interviews she wanted to combat the thought of people saying that she was hood. This is not the way you talk, but the way you went to, nah, you ain't crazy enough to do that. Nah, you don't want to see Courtney. That's what's hood. That's the part that was hood.
Her approach to stuff.
Her approach was very much given like, let's scrap, basically. But I will say this. I do think she went 0 to 100 on Marceau, but I was here for all of it. Even for her talking about you don't want to see Courtney, just because she clocked that shit that he was trying to do. She clocked that, oh, you trying to be slick, you want to touch me on the shoulder, and you want to assert your, masculine assertiveness over me to try to, she clocked the shit. So I was like, okay, I'm here for it. But when it came to the sit down with Tisha, it was like she would not let up. And same as Vondy, Kimmy was the most annoying person to me this episode, because you was commenting on shit that you had no business commenting on. And then you came to the Black Business Expo looking tired as fuck, but feeling like you had to be there because your husband was there. It's the clowniest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I think
he didn't even get her table put. He didn't get her table put in the right spot. Her table all the way in the back in the corner. She had to let us know that he couldn't even handle getting the table in the right fucking spot.
Now, what did Kimmy do at the table again? When you said she was chiming in, what did she say?
Oh, at the table. Whenever they were talking about, well, for one, whenever they was talking about Tiffany not being invited to go to the expo, Kimmy responded before Tisha could even respond, saying why she wasn't included. And it was Tisha shit that she was spearheading. Kimmy was like, no, but she did. Kimmy, hush. This has nothing to do with you. You were a speaker. Tisha was an organizer. Let Tisha respond to Tiffany on that. Your husband couldn't even answer the question on, what was it, capital investment, something that I don't know shit about. But he couldn't answer the question, so apparently he don't know nothing about it either. But yeah, it was that. And then she also looked like she wanted to, I don't know if she was just tearing her face up or if she was chiming in when Stormy and Tisha was getting into it too. So I'm just like, Kimmy, stop it. She's more embarrassing this season than Tisha.
I wonder if it's because of I have to wonder if she's seeing herself and there's a need to try to control it in some manner, but she just ends up making it look worse. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but when you're in the confessional telling us that you even showing up to this shit after fucking radiation was an act of love, I just kind of feel like you're constantly letting us know that you're being forced into doing things you don't want to do. And I just wish that you would stop.
Absolutely.
I just wish that you would really stop. Like, either stop telling us or stop doing shit that you don't want to do, because it's been hard for me for a long time now. Like, I feel like ever since the last time we interviewed Kimmy, when she starts doing that shit a lot, it was just like she was constantly swallowing shit. And for me, it's like having a knot in your throat. You know what I'm saying? Watching her is like having a knot in your throat. Like, you just see her constantly taking deep breaths and shit. It's hard to watch somebody you like just completely turn against their own self-interest. Like, it's so hard to watch. It's like watching a fucking drug addict. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. But watching women be constantly like misused and disrespected by a man publicly is like watching a crackhead like run up and down the street for crack. Like,
yeah,
it's
like
sad.
you know, if you keep doing that, you gonna hurt yourself, right? You know, yeah.
Maybe Kimmy just ain't got no fight in her because of what she got going on, so she just takes the.
But
the
any
passive
fight you do
approach.
got, you gonna roll over and suffer through it.
Good night. I was trying to throw a bone there.
Allocate
Instead of
that
telling
fight
that
somewhere
thick
else.
neck nigga to get out your face and go jack off or buy a pocket pussy or get out. Like, just there's so many other options, and you are. I really do think that the time that she spent alone wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of spending that time when she was raising Jalen, like looking at that time as her doing her and taking care of herself, she thought about it as the time where she could not allow for a man to come into her life because she had to put her son first. And then when her son became of age and she gets with Maurice and all of that, it's like, oh, now I can choose myself. But you're not even really choosing yourself. You choosing this nigga because he's not putting you first and you not putting you first. So you went through all of them years sacrificing to raise your son, all to end up in this situation. Oh, girl, that's sad. I'm sorry.
That's unfortunate. Yikes. Is there anything else on Huntsville? Bondi looks so disappointed.
When do they return? No, really, she exhausted me. Kimmy exhausts me. And she exhausts me for real. It's triggering, like, not triggering because it's a personal experience, but triggering because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
it's a personal experience. Like, I've experienced watching that shit, and it you know.
No. When do y'all know whenever the second half of the season is? It September?
Yeah, I don't think it's a date on it yet, but I just said September.
Well, we know it'll be back, unlike whenever the fuck DC gonna come back.
True. We just keep hearing it's coming back, but don't know when.
I ain't even worried about it. Let the shit
go.
Wait
for Potomac.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. Just like Huntsville waited for Atlanta.
Oh, because Ashley got a cameo.
Because y'all see,
I don't know if it's a cameo.
He's figured out the formula.
So when they announce when theirs is coming, or when they find out behind the scenes when Potomac is coming, it's probably when DC is gonna come.
You could scrap it, throw it away. I don't care.
Oh shit!
They can throw away DC.
Girl, don't do that to Jamie because he been online having a damn fit about it. He wants everybody to see the show so bad.
Did y'all see that? Well, we talked about that video of his son in the pool with the girl twerking on his head, looking crazy. And then they said Jamie was online acting a fool. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to watching more abuse victims on the Oppressed Women's Network, because y'all can keep lying all y'all want to. The Tylers are in a abusive, functioning alcoholic family.
Whoa, yikes. Well, there's that.
Yikes.
I know it when I see it.
Oops.
Used to live there.
Y'all be killing me.
Well, I guess we'll slide over. That was that.